Have you started the stream?
Yep. I told you
I
three
can't.
times I was starting it.
I can't find it.
Yeah, you gotta refresh. It'll come up. Alright, there we go. As you may have noticed, we are in Japan. Suzuka, classic track. Always an exciting race. Very hard to keep it together around here. This is the AF1RL Tier 2 Japanese Grand Prix. I am arebigga, and alongside me once again is Puff Digital.
And I'm glad to be here. A lot of
Let's see
cars
that.
tonight.
Yeah, 18 actually. We've got 18 cars out on the track. Brian Mosser will be serving a qualifying ban tonight, so he will not leave the pit lane. We'll allow him to set up in. That is it. If he goes out on track, he will be suspended and excluded. The Ferris wheel at Suzuka, very famous part of the track. As you see, the Red Bull driver leaving the garage. They've got an Alpha, Racing Point, Renault, another Alpha, the Toro Rosso, McLaren, both Mercedes out, and the other Renault. So let's get on track and figure out who is where. We've got T-Money, I believe, out in front. I don't know, someone is in front of him.
It's Zamoglis actually leading the pack
Zamog-
away.
Zamog is out in front.
And it seems we will have a dry race and a dry qualifying.
Excellent.
Thanks to the weather boys. Always appreciated.
So, a couple new guys tonight. We've got a few new drivers joining the grid. They're just going to reserve. Obviously, we're pretty close to the end of the season, so these guys will just fill in and put some cars on track for us. And we've got Destroyer. He's in the Ferrari tonight.
Sorry to interrupt. Fuzz picks up a 5-place grid penalty for colliding with Jinnit. I don't know where that occurred. Jinnit has lost most of his wing, so he will have to go back in, but
Electric Chicken, the other new driver in the Toro Rosso tonight. And we did have another driver who might have been able to make it. He was running a bit late, so he may join before the race. But as we mentioned, Brian Mosser will be serving that qualifying ban. So Zamoglis starts his hot lap. We'll ride on board with Zamoglis as he takes the main straight into turn 1 at Suzuka. You see those mountains in the background. Such a beautiful circuit here. It's a lot of fun to drive. You get into a nice rhythm. Very tricky first couple corners here as you move into the S's and towards the Dunlop curve, which if you get it right, you can take almost full throttle through there, but it's a very risky endeavor. You get on the outside curb, you could send it into the wall easy.
looks nice and smooth so far. Coming up to the Degner corners, but
And he crashes. He's hit the walls, Zamoglis. Degner 2 can Degner 2 can catch you out quite easy.
There.
It did look like a pretty good lap. So we've got just behind him one of the Haas drivers. We'll check who that is. Oh, we've got a Racing Point off. Pace Dogs has gone off the road. We have the Haas of Axton. So T-Money is the one. We'll get on board with T-Money. He'll be the first one to set a hot lap as Zamoglis has put it into the wall. Sector 3 with a yellow flag. I believe that would probably be for Brian retiring in the pit. Possibly.
I can't find who it is.
It's got to be Brian then. He's just retired, so. T-Money swooping down that final corner. Nice big bump here. Very tricky. Got to make sure you're a little gentle on the throttle. 129.8 on the medium tire.
Very impressive.
Yeah, that's not a bad time.
Good
That
lap
hold up.
for your first run, especially.
Ryan picks 130.3 on the soft tire. We'll drop to Niebuhr, has just crossed the line, 132.4 on the softs. Do we have another driver heading down the straight?
RC on the softs,
Axton.
130.
Axton's just about to cross the line for his hot lap. Should we run on board with Axton? He's had a pretty good run of races for the middle part of the season here. We'll see if he can extend it to finish the season off. He's been on form almost weekly for as far as I can remember now. So we'll run on board with Axton. Fuzz off the road there. Coming back on the track, but stays out of the way.
Yeah, pretty consistent podium finisher. We'll get him a nice bit of screen time here as he takes us around a lap of Suzuka.
Is approaching a bit of traffic up ahead. I'm not sure. Wolfsburg, yeah, Wolfsburg stays out of the way quite nicely there. Good job. It's a tricky spot to let someone through. Another yellow flag.
Looks like a clean lap so far. Down into the hairpin. A number of lines you can take through there. A rare corner where you don't necessarily have to hit the apex. Certain lines you can kind of pick up exit speed. Spoon. Another tricky set of corners there, but he's handled it well. I'm expecting a pretty competitive time. He's coming up on traffic here in the last chicane though. It's a big slipstream, which may help if these guys don't get in his way. Oh, it looks like he'll be compromised by Niebuhr. Yeah.
Oh, that's quite unfortunate. Likely we'll be going to the stewards, no doubt.
Still a 136. I don't think that was his glory run, so hopefully he'll be able to get out. And
here's Fuzz just starting his hot lap. We're right on board with him. He's in that Renault tonight. Oh, just a little twitch there as he moves through the S's. Approaching two cars up ahead. This is not a great part of the track to catch two cars. So as he goes through that Dunlop curve, see what kind of time he sets in sector 132.5. As if he's dove down the inside of that racing point. Not too sure if he's done a great enough job getting out of the way of Fuzz there. He's definitely been compromised, certainly distracted at the very least. He's got two other cars. Oh, and he's gone into the wall. Fuzz has smashed the wall. He's surely taking quite a bit of wing damage here. There's a Red Bull coming around. Not a great place to be spun. He's got time to get it turned around. There he goes. No one near him. He's got plenty of time to get it right. But yeah, I mean,
there.
so much traffic, and then another two cars after he clears two. It's got to be frustrating, and obviously lost his concentration for a brief moment and just smacked the wall.
It's a track where, I mean, every corner is somewhat of an adventure, you know?
Yep. Let's ride with Destroyer, one of the newcomers tonight. We'll see how he does on this hot lap of his. He's in the soft tire. He's in that Ferrari car, so...
he's got a nice helmet, too. You know, he came to race today. Right on board, see how he does. Nice
great
and
shot
tight
coming
there.
through that hairpin there with the chopper view, but we'll get back on board.
See how he takes these two here.
A little apprehensive through there, I'll say, but, you know, he probably just wants to get one on the board at this point. His first race here.
Took a nice bit of curb on the exit, though. You know, at this stage of qualifying, we're almost halfway through now. For the guys who don't have a time on the board, it's imperative that they at least get something.
Interesting to note, T-Money just started his hot lap on the soft tire, even though he still has pole position on those mediums. So
in a 1:31.8. So, you know, he's
Not too bad, yeah.
himself in the mix there.
Let's get on board with T-Money. Let's see what he does on this lap. I'm assuming he's going to be up quite a bit, but will he actually put the lap in at this point? He's got almost 2/10 in hand over second place, who is out on the mediums right now. They have also set a good lap on the mediums, GP Colin. So
We've got Arrow coming around just now to finish his lap.
there he is.
And he takes pole of 1:29.1. So, T-Money will need
Yeah,
a bit of improvement, but
still on board with T-Money here. Just came out of the exit of the hairpin section. Oh, Zamoglis takes provisional
first
pole.
driver, yeah, into the 1:28s. So, T-Money starting to drop down the order. He is 5/10 up on his current lap, though. He'll need a bit more if he wants pole position.
He'll need to find a few tenths in the final sector here. He's
Yeah.
7.5 tenths up right now, actually.
Okay.
Definitely needs, if he can find another tenth or two in these final couple turns, he could take provisional pole on those softs.
Every driver will definitely have enough time to get back around.
128.9. He just takes pole by 2 thousandths. That's crazy. Wow. Great lap from T-Money there. Just edges out Zamoglis. Aerostrike sitting in third on that soft tire.
Can't get much closer than that. Who can we find?
RC's just coming through the final chicane, the famous Senna Prost corner.
We've got Electric Chicken, who's off track, trying his best to get
129.3, so that's a good time from RC. Not quite enough to get into the mix in the top three, but he's close. He's knocking on the door, so he's got plenty of time for another lap. We could see him find a few tenths around the lap, and he could easily be competing for pole position. Anybody else on a hot lap? We've got Coxie out here. He looks like he's going through Dunlap. Let's ride with Coxie, the other Mercedes driver. Team UK here, Coxie and Jinnit.
I've just realized I don't have engine noise again. This is an ongoing issue here.
I do, again. I guess it's more important whoever's hosting the stream has the sound, because it would be terrible without it. We've had it plenty of times where I don't get the sound too. This game is just, they never seem to fix it. Coxie heading into the spoon curve. He just gets a little off the line there. Not quite what he was hoping for. Heading down the stretch to 130R. He's sitting in the middle of the track. He's going to want to move to the outside a little bit, use up that track. There he goes. And he's just gone off the road. I don't know.
He was 2 seconds off his time.
Yeah, and he was in the way of Jinnit.
Jinnit a little bit of a toe to his teammate. We got some actual teamwork here. The
Jinnit.
Garage.
I think Jinnit is on his out up, so that wouldn't have mattered. He's just starting his hot lap. I'm riding on board with Jinnit right now for his hot lap. You have the fitted tires on. Almost every driver on the track is on the soft tire currently. Jinnit, GP Colin, and Harry all have the mediums fitted. Harry's sitting in the pit lane at the moment. Or sorry, on his out lap. Apologies.
We have Axton.
GP Colin. Oh, Jinnit's hit the wall and he's spun heavily. He's lost a substantial amount of wing. Luckily hasn't lost a wheel. Hopefully he gets back on the track okay. Stays out of the way. He's off to the side. Someone must be coming. There he goes. Aerostrike stays out of the way. Good job from Jinnit there. Not compromising anyone's run after he makes that mistake through the Dunlop curve. Like as I said earlier, a very tricky corner. Aerostrike is on his out lap.
A lot of cars in the pits.
Harry's starting his hot lap. Let's ride with him.
Niebuhr's gone off. He's on the grass now, letting cars through.
Harry in this Williams looks like a little bit of imposter Felipe Massa with that green and blue helmet. Yeah. All right, we got some comments in the stream.
Felipe, baby.
Felipe, baby. Harry Hotspur through the first Degner. He's down a little bit on his previous time, so obviously not what he's hoping for. He's going to have to find a lot more time if he wants to improve his lap substantially. Looks like he may be
We've
pulling
got
out.
odds makers in the comments. 100 to 1 on Coxie to win the race.
Oh, yeah. Harry, I believe, may have backed out of this lap. He doesn't look like he's really pushing at this point, so let's see if we can find somebody else. Looks like Niebuhr is about to put in.
Destroyer.
No,
He's come around.
Niebuhr is on a cooldown lap, I believe.
Yeah, his
Back to
wings
Destroyer.
damaged. He hit the wall.
Destroyer, we'll ride with Destroyer.
Let's see if he can improve his time. He needs, what, roughly... he needs about a second there to break into the top 10. A bit over a second. And he's down substantially through the first sector. You know what? He's not on a hot lap. His battery is at 0, so my mistake. Just going around getting a feel for the track. I assume every car now is about out of the pits. I should have paid better attention. I'm quite lost. Arrow coming down the back straight. He heads into the final chicane. This may be his last hot lap. Ooh, he went a bit deep. We'll see how much that costs him.
28.8.
Oh,
just edges it out.
Defense. Team Money also on a hot lap. He's heading into Spoon. I don't know if there's anyone ahead of him. We have Pace Dog just exiting Spoon, so I believe he would be the
right on board with Pace Dogs.
We'll see how he finishes this off. We'll jump back to Team Money afterwards. He was down a few tenths, unfortunately. We'll see if maybe he can scoop it back in the final chicane.
Pace Dogs jumps in the pits. T-Money through the chicane. Does he finish the lap? Will he park it? He does park it as well. I don't know if he's got enough time to get back out.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he does. He maybe should have just gone around again.
We have Zem out on track now on his outlap.
Outlap for Zem. RC is coming down towards 130R. Let's ride with RC. Oh, he's going slow. He's prepping. RC is just getting ready for the final run here.
GP Colin, if we want to ride on board with him.
Yep.
3.8.
Approaching a car up ahead. Hopefully, looks like that car is not going particularly quick at the moment. So, GP Colin will hope that that car stays just far enough ahead. Most drivers here are pretty good about getting out of the way if it's a chance to be compromised. The Haas driver seems to have picked up the pace a bit, just going away. GP Colin through the Spoon curve, exits down the run up the hill towards 130R. One of the fastest corners in Formula 1.
7 tenths up is what my screen is showing.
It's a Ferris wheel in the background as he moves through the chicane.
He could be right in the mix there for pole position. GP Colin
in second.
Crosses the line.
Great lap, just edges out T-Money and Zamoglis. Great lap from GP Colin. Good stuff. Won the Monaco GP earlier this year. Hasn't had the greatest run of races through the middle part of the season, but he's always right there. He's always hauling a good handful of points home every day, every race. Definitely has race-winning pace. Yeah, definitely has race-winning pace at some tracks. Others, he seems to just be consistent and smooth. Quite often runs races on his own and just brings the points home for that Red Bull team.
Who else can we find now?
Destroyer.
Buzz on a hot lap.
Destroyer's coming through the Spoon curve.
We'll follow him through to the end then. Yeah, he does. Lovely shot. High above the trees.
Electric Chickens had a pretty rough debut in his first qualifying session. Admittedly, not one of his best tracks, as he was telling us last night when we were just doing the verification. Oh, Destroyer. Looks like he just lost some time there.
A wobble, yeah.
Did he put his best time in on the mediums? No, he did.
Can we find RC is in the pit wall, it
Oh,
seems.
how did you do that?
Not quite sure.
Uh, hmm, interesting.
Who's still
Harry
running?
Hotspur? Harry Hotspur's on a
Buzz!
hot lap. Buzz is taking provisional
5th
pole.
overall. A
3/10.
128.5.
Harry Hotspur is just coming into the final chicane right now, riding on board with Harry, or Felipe, as we might.
Harry will be the last driver who has a chance.
Just a little bobble there. He might just. Yeah, he improves. I think it's 130.2 though, so it's not quite enough to get into the
Electric
top 10, but that will give him tire choice. It's prime position. Electric Chicken, yeah, he put in a solid lap. There he goes. He
got himself
improved.
up to 13th.
Yeah,
Destroyer as well takes 10th. So
good
good
showing
on
from the new
him.
guys.
Harry Hotspur, as Jeanette likes to call it, poor man's pole. He will get tire choice.
Yep. Jinnit.
And
It looks like Jinnit has a. I don't know what's happened to Jinnit here, but he's stuck down in 14th, so. Unfortunately, Jinnit did not have a good qualifying session. I am. If you want to just run through the race results, I'm just going to step away for a couple minutes, and I will be back for the race. You know what that means. Everybody knows what that means. But professional Ryan, I just need a quick moment. I'm just going to gather my papers, make sure I've got all my information for the race together. I'll let Puff Digital carry it away.
Alright, well, as Ryan gets his files together, Fuzz got pole position. However, I forgot he has a 5-place grid penalty, so he will start in 6th place. Everyone else will be bumped up. So we have Zamoglis in the Red Bull, will be on pole. Arrow Strike in the McLaren will finish off the front row in 2nd. GP Colin in the other Red Bull in 3rd. T Money in the Haas car will be 4th. I'm throwing myself off. Axton in the other Haas will be 5th. Then Fuzz in 6th. Now everything's back to normal, and the screen went away. So we wait. Anyone in the comments? How was your day? Do anything fun? I think it was Pace Dogs in 7th in the Racing Point. The rest I've forgotten about. Destroyer was in 10th in the Ferrari. There's a few cars I'm missing. However, very technical track. Cars obviously respond quite differently with a full fuel load. And it does take you a while to get into that rhythm, so I think we can expect a hectic race start. Someone's given the go-ahead there. I don't think that was supposed to happen, so we shall see if that causes a restart. Um, Perhaps we may be building the grid. Um, it seems not everyone was ready to go. I don't know what protocol entails here, but who hasn't got off the line? Honestly, it appears everyone's here. We had a driver in the wall there. Not quite sure who that was. So, Demoglis on pole position. Weaves his way around the track. Ryan Arebigga rather may miss the race start while he gets his files in order, seeing as he is unaware of all this. You have to bear with me. I'm just a color guy, not the lead. So we shall watch the Moglis snake his way through, warm those brakes, get the tires up to temperature. Not too much field spread. It doesn't seem, I guess, a bit of a drop off after pace dogs, but RC is holding everyone up.
Alright, I am back. This seemed like a pretty quick turnaround to get the formation lap on.
Yeah, there was a mistake. One of the drivers hit it by accident. However, I do think everyone's ready to go.
Okay.
So, Monster had a little adventure off track. He's also the last car, so we wait for him.
Great showing from GB Colin there in third, though. Nice to see him up at the front again. Just going to play a little bit of spoiler action today for Team Money and Axton. Got Fuzz sitting there in sixth, poised to fight. See what happens. We'll get that tire information up. As the grid reforms, we get ready. Soon we will start the race. Japan Grand Prix, this is Tier 2. See how it goes. We've got Zimaglis on pole. I think that's 2 weeks in a row for him.
It may be.
I think it might be.
I got a weird view behind the fence. Right from the crowds, look at them. They're synchronized.
Alright, the
And
lights
pumping.
are on. We've got 4. And they're off. Zimaglis gets a good start. It looks like Aerostrike has also gotten a good start. GP Colin moves to the inside, might take a peek. They're side by side. Aero takes the position into turn 1. Great move. Oh, we've got a Renault way off the road. It's Fuzz. He's had a massive incident there. He's lost a lot of his wing. He's collided with a couple other cars. Harry Hotspur's been turned around backwards. He is now getting it turned around in the grass. Fuzz still recovering, as you see, just right up the road there. Zimaglis and Team Money are battling. Zimaglis under threat. Got that pole position, but perhaps just
Destroyer, up to 5th. 5 places gained.
That's incredible from Destroyer.
At
Great
the start
driving.
there.
He looks like
See
he's
how-
right on the tail of Team Money as well.
Yeah, he does. Pace Dog's also right on his tail.
On board with Team Money right now. Aerostrike's starting to pull a gap already, but Zimaglis pressuring his teammate for just tonight, GB Colin. GB Colin gained that place. Team Money is going to want to hang with those two ahead. He hopefully will be able to build a gap to Destroyer behind. Destroyer, though, really hanging with Team Money. Pace Dog's all over the back of Destroyer, though. Destroyer has a little bit of a bobble there, riding on board with Pace Dogs at the moment, and he is close enough to take a look down into the chicane. He's going to have that slipstream advantage as he is very close to the rear of Destroyer right now. Destroyer breaks that slipstream just a tad, 130R. Pace Dogs runs a little wide. Don't know if he's... Yeah, he was hoping to gain time there and lost a little bit. Destroyer! Oh, he's nearly lost the car. He gets it saved. Good job from Destroyer saving the car there. Pace Dogs has to yield. There's nowhere for him to go.
We got Zem slightly gaining on GP Colin.
Takes a look down the inside. Not quite close enough, though. GP Colin defends that well. Takes a nice line through there.
Ooh,
Pace Dogs
Dogs.
sends it down the
Great move
inside.
there. A
Destroyer
little bit
is...
of contact, but I think Destroyer left the door open for it.
Yeah. Axton all over the back of Destroyer. Now we're riding on board with Axton. As you see up the road, Team Money all over the rear of Zimaglis at the moment too. So keep an eye on that gap as much as we can. We have a lot of close battles in the field right now. Oh, Destroyer takes a lot of the first Stegner. Unsettles the car, but doesn't lose much time. He's just a little wobbly on the exit.
A lot to keep up with at the moment. We also have Jinnit and Coxie chasing Ryan, and then we get a bit of a gap back to Brian, who's made up 6 positions here in the opening 2 laps.
Got RC now on the tail of these cars as well, so we got a little bit of a train here forming behind Pace Dogs. Ryan and Jinnit also not very far, so we're going to have quite an interesting scrap for the next few laps.
Right there. I don't think he'll be able to take a look.
I don't think he can either. Let's get to Team Money. He's close on Zimaglis, doesn't quite get the move done. We'll ride with Team Money. Keep an eye on those other gaps. There's so much going on through the field. It's very hard to... Brian Mosser makes the pass on Coxie.
Team Money
Coxie,
now.
I believe, is pit. He's dropped a lot of positions, or he's spun the car, perhaps. Team Money not close enough, no. Oh, it's a much better entry into the S's. He might have a chance on Zimaglis here if Zimaglis can Samagos makes a mistake through the S's anywhere. T-Money might be able to squeak through, but it's a lot to ask. I agree.
Arrow, just a quick note, 3 seconds now up on GP Colin. I'm not sure if there was some mistakes. Yellow flag, who do we have dropping down? Ryan Mosser is off the track. Doesn't look like he has damage. I can't tell from the view I'm getting, but hopefully he can recover and continue on.
Destroyer also pressuring Pace Dog still too, so having a very good start to his first race here in the league.
Yeah, pulled a nice gap to Axton. At least for the time being. You know, Axton was very, very fast. T-Money. He has saved that battery. I think he's ready to make a run.
Yeah, he's going to get that DRS advantage on the main straight, and he's tucked in quite nicely behind Zamagos. I've been riding on board with T-Money for the last lap and a half or so. Just a good scrap here, and you know, it's GB Colin not too far up the road ahead either, so pretty interesting battle here for second place. Aerostrike still just building that gap up. He's had a very excellent start to this race.
Destroyer slightly fell off into the clutches of Axton.
Zamagos with that DRS. He touches the grass a little bit. He's going to be a little unsettled into the next couple corners. GB Colin push and yeah, Zamagos touches the grass once again. It's going to cause problems with grip and temperature.
Sorry, did pick up 3 seconds there. Going a bit wide into T1. Oh, Destroyer, he's off.
Oh,
no
Destroyer.
one seems to make contact, but he recovered it nice, but he loses out to Axton and RC, and now he will have Jinnit right behind him, so...
Got a yellow flag as well. Has someone gone off behind these guys, or... It looks like Coxie's dropping. Mario's dropping possibly as well.
Yeah, Mario.
Very close here. Jinnit is right on the tail of RC, and they're right on the tail of Destroyer, the newcomer tonight. He's had a very good start to this race, but he's had a couple incidents that have cost him some time, and now he's under threat from two of the fastest drivers on the grid tonight. So Destroyer's going to have to get composed here, otherwise he's going to drop possibly out of the points here, with Ryan sitting just behind Jinnit as well, only 8/10 behind. T-Money, Zamagos, let's get back to that. They're all very close. Once again, this could be very interesting into the first turn. RC closing on Destroyer. Not close enough. Let's get back to T-Money. This could be very interesting into turn one. It looks like GB Colin is compromised. Zamagos is struggling.
Good run.
T-Money's got that battery. He can fire it up. He's still sitting only on high. I mean, you got to put it in overtake here. Maybe just with that DRS. Yeah, the DRS with Zamagos. They need... yeah, it's tricky. He's got a bit of a gap behind. He's got a cushion, but if Pace Dogs gets within a second, there's going to be trouble for T-Money. So he needs to get through. He's got a lot of battery. It might be the time to use it.
Jinnit doing very well on the mediums. Keeping tabs on all these guys in front of him. He can make up a few of these positions. He'll be in prime position on his second stint.
GB Colin compromises himself through the Degners there, and now Zamagos very close through the hairpin, and T-Money also very close to Zamagos through the hairpin. Not quite close enough. Zamagos can find a way through. He might actually be able to shake T-Money for a little while. GB Colin looks like he's really struggling on those tires now. Obviously has that penalty as well, so these two drivers technically are ahead, but they are losing a ton of time on track behind him. RC is very close to Destroyer as well, and so is Jinnit. Let's get back to that battle.
Zamagos making the move through 130R.
Oh, Zamagos does get through 130R. GP Colin has to tuck in behind T-Money. Super close.
Right there.
Through the chicane. GP Colin must be struggling with that. Oh, T-Money! Oh, he hit that wall. He hit that wall. He clipped that wall. He did not lose his wheel, though. If he touches anything else with that right tire, he's done. GP Colin goes for a late move on Zamagos. Touches the grass, but can't get it done. T-Money tucks in really closely behind. T-Money very lucky to be in this race still. He smacked that wall at a high speed.
Still got RC behind, and Jinnit behind Destroyer here, as well as Ryan, who's caught up to this pack.
Axton is all over the back of Pace Dogs. T-Money is now threatening GB Colin. Again, GB Colin touching the grass through the first Degner. Runs a little wide through the second, touches the grass again. T-Money has that battery. He's got to get that battery up and just push his way through here. T-Money has the pace. Oh, he nearly loses it through the hairpin. T-Money maybe just feeling the pressure a little bit tonight. Can't seem to find a way through. He seems a little apprehensive to use that battery up and really go for it. But ultimately, he really needs to win this race tonight, and Aerostrike's getting away.
Fuzz has called it a night, and he has retired. No rain tonight. I'm curious what his excuse will be.
Destroyer and RC are scrapping here. Very close. Not sure his excuse will be. Jinnit is also very close to RC. Is he going to take a run through 130R? Let's take a look. RC covers it off. Jinnit tucks back in. Jinnit moves to the outside.
Ooh.
Those medium tires now really probably working better than those softs. Got a lot of action back here. Ryan's mixed his way in too. He's bumped with Jinnit. I think
Makes his way through.
Yeah, Ryan makes his way through. A little bit of contact there, but I think that's all clean.
RC
Not too
hits.
RC
Jinnit will
dives
have
into
a
the
nice
pits.
run on Ryan now. We'll see if he can get
Jinnit
it done.
sends it into turn 1, but he can't quite get alongside Ryan.
Yes, RC has pit. Electric Chicken promoted up to 10th now.
Yeah,
Running in the points in his first race.
not too shabby.
Axton still behind Pace Dogs. And they're also now catching up to this group here, this train behind, I guess it would be Zimoglis, but none of them seem to be holding each other up, per se.
Yeah, just a little bit of space forming now in the field. There's so much action to keep up with in the first few laps there, but probably have a little bit of breathing room for us and the drivers. T-Money is now very close to GP Colin as Axton closes in on Pace Dogs, as you can see here, riding on board with Axton. Get up to T-Money. I don't think he's close enough. Axton's a lot closer. We'll stay with Axton here.
Will
Doesn't
he?
send it.
It's very risky.
It is risky. T-Money into the chicane has much better traction right now than GP Colin. We'll see if he can get a run on him down the main straight. He's going to have that DRS. It should be job done for T-Money here. We'll ride on board. He's on the outside of his teammate now as they approach turn 1. He's got to turn that battery up all the way. Send it, T-Money. Oh, sorry, not his teammate.
Contact, not his teammate, no.
Not his teammate. The cars look the same from that angle, but
I was gonna roll with it. He does get it done though on the switchback, yeah.
Yeah. Good move from T-Money. Finishes the job. Let's get back to
Pace
Pace
got
Dogs.
traction.
Brian Mosser now
Axton,
passes Destroyer.
sorry, did get by Pace Dogs there. Must have been through T1 as well. Jinnit also moves past Ryan, so...
Yeah, Brian here is very close to Wolfsburg into turn 1. Has to yield a little bit. Started on those medium tires, so he's on a good strategy right now. Jinnit also on a very good strategy too. He's 8 seconds off the soft runners. Oh, Brian Mosser gets through the S's. Great job, has great traction through there. Wolfsburg made a little bit of a mistake, and he just zipped right on by. Nice move from Brian Mosser. Sends it into the first Degner, into the second Degner, and away he goes to go chase that gap to Electric Chicken. He's got a handful of points up ahead. Electric Chicken's seem to be getting some weird gear shifting or RPM from his onboard, so we'll move away from that.
Yeah, I'm picking up the same thing.
Yeah, it seems like he's maybe got a bad connection. Destroyer, very close to Coxie. Let's get back to Destroyer. Just pit, he's on those fresh softs. Let's see if he sends it into the spoon curve. Nope. Sorry, on those fresh mediums. It says he's on softs on the chart, but you can see that he's on the mediums on track. So, we know that he's actually...
Oh, he's got a great run on him here.
Yeah.
He'll have that done and dusted.
Nice move through 130R. He moves across, and he's got the place. Coxie has to tuck in behind through the chicane. Destroyer having a really solid debut tonight. I'm going to say he's done well. Electric Chicken also running in 9th place is 2 points for him. Obviously, they won't count as a reserve, but I mean, he still finishes 9th if he maintains that position.
Field's starting to spread a bit. We've got Axton pressuring GP Colin here.
let's
GB
get back to
Colin,
that
though.
battle for fourth. Coxie's made a mistake. He's lost a lot of time to Destroyer. GB Colin, he's lost the car. Oh no, he comes back on and he takes out Axton. Axton's lost the car through Spoon. He's collided with GB Colin, who lost the car, and he managed to save it, but unfortunately Axton came through at that exact moment and collided with GB Colin. So obviously very bad luck. I'll have to take a look at that after the race. Ryan has now passed Axton as well, so it goes from bad to worse for Axton. He may have wing damage as well. I believe he does. He's lost his front left end plate. He's going to have to pit, I think. Axton.
Having the race come to him now.
Axton pits.
Smoglis pits. Axton pits, and as well as Pace Dogs finds himself now in a podium position. So we're right around the pit window. We'll see how long Team Money and Arrow extend their stints. I imagine they'll probably be in this lap. See perhaps if Zem can pull off the undercut here.
Riding on board with GP Colin, he's very close to Pace Dogs up the road ahead. Both on 9-lap-old softs. One of these guys pits, they could gain the advantage over the other and move themselves clear. Losing a lot of time scrapping with one another, but if GP Colin can get through, may be able to extend his stint a little bit with some clear air.
Coxie retires as well. Not sure what happened. Maybe just a tough night out there.
GP Colin's closing on Pace Dogs quite heavily here, so let's ride with GP Colin into the chicane. Thinks about it, but obviously thinks better of it. So he gets a better exit down the main straight here with the DRS. They both dive into the pits.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
neither
Team Money
advantage.
has extended.
Arrow has pit, yes.
Demoglis has made it past Electric Chicken. So we'll see Jeanette move up to second. We'll see where Arrow comes out. He'll be well ahead of Zimoglis, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of drivers diving into the pits right now. We've got Pace Dogs, maintains that gap over GP Colin. Here comes Brian Mosser down the main straight. He will take the place into turn 1, I believe. So Pace Dogs and GP Colin will now have to clear Brian Mosser, who started from the back of the grid tonight. He's still on those medium tires, so he'll be struggling for grip compared to the drivers who just got out on fresh mediums. We'll see. I think we'll ride on board with GP Colin because he should close quite quickly, and we'll see how this scrap goes. Mario also very close to Ryan now as well. Ryan out on those fresh mediums, but ahead of Mario on the old mediums, so Mario will probably struggle to get a move done there. I don't think we need to move to that. GP Colin and Pace Dogs. We'll move to Pace Dogs. He seems to really close on Brian Mosser here through the hairpin.
Yeah. Obviously the new tires are working quite well.
Through the Spoon curve, Brian really struggling for grip, as you can see. Pace Dogs might have enough to get a run on him into 130R. I don't know if it's worth it. He's definitely got the grip to get him on the main straight. Maybe he should just tuck in and be smart here. Yeah, Pace Dogs looks like he's just going to be patient here. He'll get him down the main straight with DRS easy. GP Colin picks up another penalty.
Goes deep. Team Money also picked up 5 seconds. Moglis fastest lap there, 132.7.
There we go. Pace Dogs, easy run on Brian here. He's got the speed, he's got the DRS into turn 1. He's cleared that Ferrari. He sends it, and he gets the move done. Brian Mosser really struggling for grip. Now GP Colin will be the next to challenge Brian Mosser.
Oh, an accident, 131.7. So
Mario's
really
still
quick.
hanging on to Ryan here. Looks like he may have lost a bit of time, but he's managed to get it back. We've also got Destroyer on 4-lap-old softs, who is approaching GP Colin on 1-lap-old mediums, so that could be an interesting little scrap. I think GP Colin does have the advantage there, but interesting GP calling not closing on Brian Monster, so that'll give Destroyer a chance. Let's get on board with Destroyer. This could be an interesting little scrap here as they try to clear Brian Monster, who's extending his first stint by running the medium tires to start the race. Axton closing on Mario.
Jeanette passed by Arrow.
So that's Arrow into the net lead of the race already, easily. Jeanette still has to make a pit stop, so Jeanette won't be really threatening Arrow for the win tonight. Could have incredible pace on those softs, so you never know. Destroyer sends it very late on GP Colin, but does not get the move done. It's an interesting little look there from Destroyer. I'm glad I was on board for that. It was a nice move. Well, yeah, it was optimistic. Oh no!
Ooh.
GP Colin. Yeah, he sends Brian Mosser off the road. There. Not too sure who initiated the contact there, but Brian Mosser on the
RC can't make the move on Wolfsburg.
The wrong end of that collision. Let's get back to RC, who's pressuring Wolfsburg. Much fresher tires through the S's as they approach the Dunlop curve. Can RC find the time? He does find the grip. He's gonna get him. He got him through the Dunlop curve. Great move from RC there.
Yeah, fantastic stuff.
Into the first Stegner. He's well clear of Wolfsburg. Nice move from RC. Now he can go chase Brian Mosser up the road on those old mediums. Brian Mosser will be...
I don't know which gaps are closing.
Well, Zamoglis should catch Jeanette relatively soon, I would think. So we could move up to Zamoglis. GB Colin, Destroyer, and Brian pretty close as well, but not close enough to warrant keeping an eye on.
Electric Chicken actually holding that gap fairly well considering his little tires.
Yeah.
So
the new rule is when I show Electric Chicken, I have to... Oh, he pits, Electric Chicken. I am on the broadcast for you. The engine noise and RPM are horrendous. I can't ride on board with him. I apologize. No airtime for me tonight. Destroyer moves up into 7th. He's on 6-lap-old soft tires. I don't think those are going to go to the end of the race, so...
He'll have to pit again anyways. He started on the soft, so definite 2-stop. For Destroyer.
2-stop, but he's in clear air. He might catch GP Colin up the road. But he's in clear air, and he might be able to build enough of a gap behind him. I don't think to RC necessarily, but to Wolfsburg he can. And he may be able to build enough of a gap to pit and overtake and maintain 8th place, maybe 9th tonight. Ryan obviously pressuring Wolfsburg. He will be a threat for Destroyer, as well as Axton, who sitting in 11th on his fresh mediums. Probably not where he wanted to be tonight at this point in the race.
So Electric Chicken actually goes onto the hards.
It's interesting.
Yeah, him and Brian Mosser actually. So one of those guys who started on the medium have opted to pit early and on the hards. Oh, and Niebuhr just happened to be riding on board at the right time. Absolutely destroys his wing, unfortunately. Those S's, they claim another victim. Get even the best of us.
Just to note, Jinnet's almost closed back into DRS range, and he has not given any time to Smoglis behind, so this could pay off for Jinnet. He might end up on the podium tonight.
Destroyer has gone in for his pit.
His pit to the medium.
Yep. So now he'll definitely be able to make it to the end. Comes riding 12th.
Riding on board with Ryan here. He's very close through the S's. See if he can get a... We saw Wolfsburg struggling for grip through the Dunlop curve on a previous lap. Ryan may be able to get him here. Yeah, Wolfsburg runs very deep. Ryan does have the grip. He sends it through the Dunlop curve just as RC did a few laps prior. Ryan makes his way through. Wolfsburg definitely needs to pit at this point. His tires are done. He can't maintain pace through It's not even really an overtaking spot, and cars have passed him there, so it's time to go. Get on those softs and start really pushing. Wolfsburg might be able to get a point tonight if he pits and gets on those softs, and if he can carry good pace, he might have a shot at a point. So, be a good race from Wolfsburg for sure. Electric Chicken, yeah, out on those hards, doesn't seem to really. He's kind of stuck in no man's land at the moment. Destroyer will probably catch him very quickly. So Ryan's made his way through on Wolfsburg. Get to Axton now, who's pressuring Wolfsburg. So Axton will be pressuring Wolfsburg, who isn't that far off of Ryan. So we should see a scrap between Axton and Ryan shortly as well. Oh, Axton nearly loses the car there. He almost did, but I believe T-Money did it earlier. Wolfsburg's taking a look. Yeah, he does have that move done.
Ahead. Excellent.
Good stuff from Wolfsburg there.
Yeah, lost the position a lap earlier. Axton also right on Ryan's gearbox now.
Axton, yeah, if Axton can get ahead of Ryan, Wolfsburg might be able to build a little bit of a gap there, and then, yeah, he's definitely given himself a bit of an advantage by moving ahead here. If he does go into the pits and gets onto those softs, he'll have very good pace and not
flag
too
in second
far
or
off the
one.
points.
Not sure who that is. It looks like Brian Mosser has gone off track. Puts him way behind, and he spun again. He'll be well behind Electric Chicken now.
Axton's still all over the back of Ryan, who's really close to Wolfsburg ahead. He already had that move done, but Ryan just seemed to be struggling with grip down the main straight, or perhaps battery, and Wolfsburg got that place back. Ryan now looking in through 130R. Wolfsburg touches the grass. He'll lose a little bit of traction here. Nearly loses the car, it seemed. He went really wide and swung it back in, but
you'll get the DRS though. If he can get a good exit.
He pits.
He pits. It's about that time.
It is that time for sure. Axton now all over the rear of Ryan. He's got that DRS advantage. Ryan trying to break that slipstream desperately. Axton's close enough to send it. Does he send it? No, he's not close enough. So Axton will have to yield the place. Ryan will have enough grip through Dunlop curve. We won't see him move through there. It'll be at least down the back straight towards 130R before Axton has a shot to get through here.
T-Money.
No other real
closing on Zamoglis. Janet's tires seem to have maybe reached that crossover point as well. He's lost time to Zem and to Arrow in front.
Axton's still great on Ryan. He's got quite a bit of battery left as well. Ryan seems to be struggling with battery, so this is an inevitable
T-Money in DRS range now on Zem coming down the pit straight. Janet also dives into the pits, so see where he comes out. Should be ahead of Ryan.
Axton
maybe behind us.
Axton not close enough, so we'll stay on board with T-Money here. He's not close enough to Zamoglis either, so let's get back to Axton. He's going to have a run down the main straight. This might be our best chance for an overtake on track right now. Axton really pressuring Ryan.
Good exit. He should have this.
He should have this. He's got the DRS. He's all over the rear of Ryan. He moves out. Ryan's struggling with his battery. Axton's got plenty to use. Ryan tucks in for that DRS. Will Ryan get to take... No, he won't have another chance at that. Now,
Janet also out into 7th on the soft tire now. 3 seconds roughly behind RC, so
he's
got... push begins now. T-Money.
Yeah, the podium seems out of reach for Janet at this point. But, yeah, T-Money very close to Zamoglis here as they approach the spoon curve. Just on board with T-Money riding behind Zamoglis here. Just that broadcast view. Nice shot of them as they run up the hill towards 130R. T-Money in that Haas car. Zamoglis filling in that Red Bull tonight.
Can't get it done. It's a tricky tricky spot. Always
It's a
best to
tricky
wait.
spot.
He'll, if he flips that battery up, he will have a run. Zamagla's got a good exit though.
Yeah.
I'll have him for another lap.
No other super close battles at the moment on track. We've got Ryan who's 1.5 off of Axon, but we know Axon's just made his way through, so more than likely that gap won't shrink too much. So we'll stay with Axon. Actually, Jinnit approaching RC on 12 lap old mediums. He's on 1 lap old softs. We'll get to Jinnit. He might be able to give us an overtake very shortly. He's actually closing quite quickly here. T-Money close enough on Zamaglis again, but as they approach that hairpin, not sure he's going to be close enough to get a move done until the pit straight. So let's get back to Jinnit, and we'll see what kind of gap he can close down through the rest of this lap. He's got that extra traction right now with his fresh tires. Yeah, you see him as they approach the hairpin here. Jinnit's almost got in, but he's within DRS range suddenly, so it seems inevitable at this point. Jinnit will make his way through, just a matter of where. T-Money now very close to Zamagos, not quite close enough, as I said, through 130R. He won't be able to get that move done. Not close enough through the chicane either, so down the pit straight. T-Money's got to turn. Oh, T-Money cuts the corner. 5-second penalty for that. That's a hefty penalty. Oh, T-Money has lost the car. He nearly put it in the wall. He saved it. He's in the gravel. He's trying to get back on the track. Nobody's quite close enough. I think T-Money's safe. He's put it in the wall.
Barrier.
That's
wing,
a disaster.
He's missing the right end plate.
Oh, he's retired on track. Ooh, T-Money. Can't be doing that.
Jinnit, fastest lap. Breezes past RC.
Great move from Jinnit there. It's a yellow flag, though. Will that move stick?
Oh!
No, he lets him through, I think.
RC!
No. I think that was yellow flag overtake.
Potentially, yes.
T-Money retired on the straight there, so Jinnit couldn't get the move done. I believe that's what happened. It seems like none of the drivers are pushing right now. Is there a safety car? Oh no, Jinnit's just got his battery turned down. Apologies. Sounded like he just wasn't really trying that hard.
So pace stocks up to that third podium position.
GP Colin also on for a podium possibly here. He's not too far off of pace dogs. If he can find some pace, he might be able to close that gap down and challenge for the podium now. RC also a possible contender. His tire's a little older. It'll be harder for him to whittle that gap down, especially under threat from Jinnit on the soft tire. But another yellow flag here.
Very much in contention for a podium now.
Suddenly RC is right on the tail of GP Colin. I don't know if GP Colin must have made a big mistake here. RC is all over him. He's got to run down into the chicane.
Behind.
Oh, Jinnit tucks in. Very close there.
Yeah.
Let's ride on board with Jinnit. See what these two drivers do with GP Colin up ahead. Struggling for traction, it seems. Maybe just doesn't have those temperatures in his tires. They're not that old.
RC gonna get it done.
RC on the outside. GP Colin struggling for grip. They give each other enough space there. Jinnit just backs off, lets those drivers sort it out. Smart driving there from Jinnit. RC touches the grass a little bit. He'll be compromised.
Sorry. Also, in DRS range of Arrow. Not sure if Arrow made a mistake, but under a second now.
RC all over the back of GP Colin. Just can't find a way through. GP Colin defending valiantly. Oh, RC has lost the car. He's smashed the wall hard. RC, so close to that 4th place and just loses the car. Got a Haas driver Axton moving through. So now Axton chasing down Jinnit, who he probably won't catch, who's almost off tires, 7.4 seconds up the road. Jinnit now only has 1 car to get past, GP Colin, who isn't that far off of pace dogs. Jinnit, the podium's on for Jinnit.
Right in the mix. Real close to Arrow coming down the pit. Straight here for first place. I
got that DRS.
He'll be close enough. He doesn't have any battery to use.
Aerostrike has a substantial amount more, not a ton more, but a good handful more. So it'll be interesting to see how these two drivers manage that over the next couple of laps. Aerostrike does have lap fresher tires, so that will give him a bit of an advantage, but it seems to be Zimaglis is just quite strong here. He's really pressuring Aerostrike, not giving him any room to breathe. Aerostrike at the same time, he knows T-Money is out of the race, so not super vital for Aerostrike to win this race if Zimaglis wants to do something a little dicey to try and make a pass. Aerostrike probably is in his best interest just not to fight it and take a second place. He's pretty much got the championship in the bag at this point anyway.
Well, he'll get first anyways.
True. That's true.
Since Zimaglis is a reserve, so, you know, Arrow's just... I'm sure he'll give us a good show, but...
Wolfsburg pressuring Mario. Let's get to
really
that.
close through 130R.
Zimaglis backs out. Let's get back to Wolfsburg, who was pressuring Mario, but he seems to have lost a little bit of time through the S's here. Jinnit now all over the back of GP Colin as they approach 130R. Well, Jinnit, think about it through 130R. I don't think he needs to get through this lap. If he can make it through on the straight, he'll have a good shot at the podium. Thinks better of it. Good move from Jinnit there, I think. He's only 5 seconds off the Pace Dogs, who is basically driving in no man's land. So Jinnit will definitely have the pace to catch him. Jinnit gonna get through here.
Oh, he'll get
easy.
Yeah, he'll get that done.
He's got the gap, he's got the DRS, he's got the pace down the straight. That's no problem for Jinnit. He's smooth sailing through there. And on to Pace Dogs. That podium is on. Jinnit is hungry. He wants that podium. Second place is out of reach, but third place is a good... Actually, it will be second place once Zimaglis is excluded, but it's a big good result for Jinnit. He's had a rough patch. He's obviously always got the pace. He's always capable of winning a race. Sometimes just gets tangled up or runs wide. And, it's good to see him back on form tonight. Aerostrike under threat.
Maybe Arrow, oh, you know what? He's missing his left end plate. I was curious if there was something going on there. So
interesting.
He is driving with damage. Zimaglis, yeah, turns the battery down. It's not going to get the move done here. Save it for the straight. Crank it up to 11.
Yeah, he'll save a little bit through the chicane here too. Aerostrike really struggling for pace. Zimaglis should have the job done here, no problem. Hits that
good
bump.
Exit.
He's got the traction. Yeah, Aero's compromised. He doesn't have a chance here. Zimaglis has got this move done easily. Aero has a massive gap behind. He'll still win this race comfortably, but it's still not quite the same if it's not on track.
Started on pole.
Yeah.
And gets back into first. So well done by him.
Yeah, congrats to Zimaglis. That's been a really solid race tonight, and so hopefully he can keep it together for the last few laps and snag a win. I mean, obviously it doesn't count in the standings, but you know, it's a win. Still did it on track.
That's good for the ego.
Mm-hmm. So is wine.
So is wine.
Mm.
So Jinnit, he's taking about a second, maybe, off of Pace Dogs. He's got the battery turned down. Will he be able to? I mean, if he wants to get close, it's really got to be.
It's got to be
the
now.
Next 2 laps. Yeah, he doesn't have much time.
There's not much time to overtake here. You only have a couple straights to do it, so Jinnit needs to turn it up and get there. If he gets that DRS, he might have just enough grip to get by without much battery. Aerostrike still hanging on to Zimaglis. I don't think he'll try anything too crazy to get the win on track, but if it's open, he'll take it. Aerostrike, a very feisty driver. Even with damage, still maintaining very good pace here.
Yeah.
RC now pressuring Wolfsburg. I think he'll want it. He's the type of guy who wants to win it on track. I think with T-Money out of the race, he very well could have locked it up tonight if he wins this.
Potentially.
I mean, like, realistically, no one's going to catch him, but mathematically, it might be done after tonight. Jinnit has Jinnet's fallen away a bit, so he's not really a threat at the moment. Axton's pretty close, but I don't think close enough. Team
Jinnet
Shirley.
3 seconds behind now.
Team Money Shirley will be picking up some sort of penalty for retiring on the track there, so his next race will be compromised a bit as well. So even if it's not mathematically over, Team Money will be struggling to keep his hopes alive.
Mario picks up a 3-second penalty, running in 10th. He will get promoted again because of the reserve drivers, so
whoa, Aero Strike nearly loses the car there. He's just so late on the brakes and nearly smashed Zamoglis, had to back out of it, but obviously at this point Aero just needs to bring it home safely. Just make sure you win the race, don't crash, don't lose a tire.
Jinnet now 2.3 behind Pace Dogs. Don't think it'll be enough.
I don't think so either, but we're right on board because it's the best thing we got at the moment.
2 laps to go. I want to see it. The crowd wants to see it. The millions watching at home, they want to see it.
Niebuhr 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits. That's a pretty hefty one. Struggling, but he's still out there, still going around the circuit. So, yeah, exclude the reserves. He's not that far off the points actually. So, it's the beauty of hanging in there. Sometimes it pays off.
In sectors 1 and 2, I don't know who that would be, but
Jinnet quite close to Pace Dogs now, but I don't think he's going to have enough. He needs to find over 2 seconds in about a lap and a half, and I don't think he's going to get it.
So we got blue flags. Niebuhr gets out of the way.
There's Brian Mosser still going around, but he's lapped as well, so even if he fights...
that's why he looks ghosted, but yeah, he is still there.
He can fight if he wants, it doesn't really matter, but...
So Jinnet, 1.8, barring a mistake, I think Pace Dogs just needs a clean lap.
Does Jinnet have any penalties, or Pace Dogs, maybe?
You know what? Your guess is as good as mine.
So, at the moment, we will invite Aero, Pace Dogs, and GB Colin to the party for interviews, as they will be the actual podium for Tier 2.
1.4. 1.2. Jinnet really flying through the S's here.
My apologies. Aero, Pace Dogs, and Jinnet would be the actual podium at the moment. Jinnet is driver in Tier 2.
Yep.
Just thinking he was a reserve for some reason. He's definitely not. He is one of the championship contenders in this tier. Pace Dogs really struggling for grip up there. Jinnet is all over him. Jinnet might have a shot here. Jinnet not afraid to take a look either, so he's really struggling with that battery.
Really,
Pace Dogs has a bit more. Jinnet's pretty much used his up, so really has to rely on his tires to get this done.
What comes down to the exit from Spoon here? I think Pace Dogs, so all done.
I think Pace Dogs covered it off. I think he's good.
Yeah, Jinnet, he's draining every ounce of energy out of his battery. Oh, I'm sorry, actually, to Zamoglis. We missed him crossing the line there, but he is our race winner. Fantastic drive. Really brilliant stuff, actually.
Pace Dogs has a penalty. Jinnet finishes in 3rd, which is net 2nd.
Yeah.
Axton, 5-second time penalty for unserved penalty. GP Colin.
So he gets ahead of GP Colin, actually, doesn't he?
Yeah. GP Colin only 5/10 off, though. GP Colin had a few penalties, but Axton had a 5-second penalty as well. Destroyer finishes. Yeah. Oh. A little bit of swag crossing the line there. Finishes in 8th place. Yeah. Electric Chicken
it around.
crosses the line in 9th place. So both these two reserve drivers debuting tonight have scored points. I mean,
Good
obviously they
points.
counted. Yeah.
Mario, you'll get promoted a few places actually, so a nice
Yeah.
haul for the McLaren team.
Yeah, good job for Mario tonight.
Wolfsburg, he'll also be in the points, so good drive for him. We actually saw him make some nice moves on track. A couple good scraps for him.
Yeah, it was good stuff tonight. That was a very exciting race. It was like non-stop. There was always something happening, and the beginning of the race was just crazy.
Start phase was
Yeah, it was hard to keep
insane.
up. There he is, Zamoglis, the race winner. The true race winner tonight, Aerostrike. Second place is Jinnit. And there's one other winner tonight, and that is the audience. Because that was, that was one hell of a race. Yeah. I just had to. I thought of it, and I was like, it's so corny, I gotta say it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The friends we made along the way.
Yeah. Get a room. Alright, so we'll review the order. Zamoglis finishes first, Aerostrike finishes second, Jinnit in third, Pace Dogs in fourth, Axon in fifth, GB Cole in sixth, Ryan in seventh, Destroyer in eighth, Electric Chicken in ninth. Good debut from these two drivers. Mario, normally known as just Mario, I don't know why I said his full name tonight, finishes 10th. Wolfsburg Tuner finishes 11th. RC in 12th. Brian Mosser, Blame the Wine, finishes 13th. Niebuhr in 14th. T-Money in 15th. Coxie in 16th. And Fuzz in 17th. Harry in 18th. All these drivers did not finish the race. T-Money obviously retired on track. Seen on the stream, will be investigated for that, and the stewards will apply some sort of penalty or at least penalty points. Do believe it's at least a qualifying ban for that, though I'm not too sure. We'll talk about it. Alright, so we will send out invites to Aerostrike, Jinnit, and Pace Dogs. They are the top three tonight from the tier, so we will invite them to the party. Jinnit, obviously on UK time, it's quite late where he is, may not join us, but we'll hopefully hear from the other two. You are the party host, so you'll have to invite those guys.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Oh, the dead air. Come on, say something clever.
Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so.
Sorry, it was Aero, Jinnit, and
Pace Dogs.
Pace Dogs?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a great race, though. I honestly was like, it was, there was so much good battling on track. There was a lot of, nothing too dramatic happened, but there was a little bit of bumping and grinding. It was a good race.
Yeah, nothing as extreme as last week, luckily enough.
Nothing as hilarious as last week either. Jinnit did show up. We thought it might be too late for you tonight.
I could have a spare a few minutes after that race.
That was a hell of a race. So you got a net second place there. Obviously, Zamoglis won the race, but it won't count. So definitely what you needed after a little bit of a rough patch for the last few races. But you kept it clean tonight. Had excellent pace and second place.
Could have been a lot more.
I think so.
I was held up behind RC and the Ferrari for a bit, and then I had that little spin at Spoon that I always told you about that would get me, and it did.
Yeah, there's a lot of tricky corners in this track, man. Even like the ones that you expect to get caught out by, sometimes you don't get caught out by, and then you'll get caught out in one that you normally never screw up. It's just like such a technical track. You got to be perfect around here.
Yeah.
We got just waiting on Pace Dogs, but
hello.
Bigga, you can carry on interviewing the other guys.
Who else joined? I was busy talking then. Aerostrike, he's back.
He's never been here before.
Yeah. Who's this guy? I've never heard him. All right, Aerostrike, obviously second on track. A little bit of a dicey finish to the race, but you know you kept it. We almost saw you crash into the wall there. It was pretty close, but
you saw me hit the wall.
No, we saw you almost. No, so you hit the wall before. We saw you almost hit the wall on like the second last lap, chasing Zimaglis. We were like,
Oh no, I almost hit the back of him.
yeah, I saw
broke
that.
a little bit too late, and then I had to avoid a little bit. Yeah, it was a fun race. I thought
a fun race.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Don't mind me.
It was pretty fun. Like Zimaglis.
Hey. There he is.
Zimaglis won't count in the standings, right? So like you obviously technically won the race. So
you won the race.
I mean,
I fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse my language. I messed up and
you
hit
can
the wall.
Oh no, you can swear.
Yeah, say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
We're independent now, baby.
I really wanted that fastest lap and lost it. Hit the wall. And, when I was holding up Zimaglis, Pace was like, "Oh, slow him down more."
Yeah, actually, start to the race though, you got away quite a bit. Like you built a really large gap quite early in the race, so we were like, "Oh, here goes Zero Strike again, just running away with it." But it ended up being it wasn't in the bag that early. It seemed like it would have been, but just didn't really go your way towards the end, and you ended up losing that place. But overall,
everyone was close enough that if I did mess up, then I would have lost multiple positions because everyone was up there, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
it was
before the first pit, it was quite close. I think the most you got was about 3 seconds, which is it's good but not comfortable.
4.2 I saw once, and it just went straight down because using too much battery.
Yeah.
Or something, I don't know.
We got Pace Dogs here tonight as well, so I don't know I can't remember if you've made it into the podium chat before. If you have, it's been a very long time.
Yeah, thanks. No, like 3 times maybe. This might be my third.
Okay. Well, to be fair, we're usually drinking, so it's hard to remember.
No, I knew. I assumed that I ended up with third since Zimaglis is. But this is not where I thought I would be. I had. I decided to pick my setup at 7:55. That's what I went with. It ended up working out. Stuff happened in the beginning. Axton got into it with some other guys and whatnot, but one time penalty early, I exceeded the track limits in Spoon, and I kept saying driver behind, because I knew Gennett would catch me. So I just assumed, I was hoping maybe he had one, but he didn't. But I wasn't sure how it would work out near the end of the race with Zimaglis and whatnot. I was actually asking Ariel while we were driving the last few laps if he counted.
Yeah, just to see like where am I actually scoring here.
Yeah, but I knew Gennett
sure.
was going to catch me. He was on GP, and I pulled away from GP enough. He made a mistake.
GP,
of course, his pace. The pace Gennett had coming, I knew there wasn't a whole lot I could do. I had no fuel left, and I was just riding it on rails with those mediums.
Yeah, Janet, did you know he had a penalty?
Yeah. As soon as I overtook GP Colin, I checked straight away. Like, as soon as I had the 3 seconds, I just pulled him in. I wasn't planning on overtaking. I had no battery towards the end. Just pulling.
Perfect.
And just ride it home. What happened on the first corner? Because I come out of that and Harry, it seemed to like he hit me, but I didn't see it because I went around the outside, so I couldn't see anything.
It was a little.
So
crazy.
I started 6th, I believe. Anyway, Axton was in front of me, and I looked on my inside and saw Fuzz just fly in, and they got into each other. Both got sideways. Axton ended up getting it back straight. I don't know what happened to Fuzz.
I think it was Fuzz's mistake. Looked like he just missed the breaking point, he said, and then I didn't actually see it live, so I don't know who was all involved, but yeah, Harry ended up losing out big time. I think Axton as well may have been affected, but yeah.
It's not where I thought I'd be. This is one of my I didn't assume I'd be put up here, but I've been keeping quiet, but I've been really close with GP and points.
Yeah.
I think I've finally passed him now, so.
There you go. You can go in the Discord and start ribbing him a bit.
Oh, I was already doing it during the race.
I think we'll wrap it up. I don't know if anybody wants to ask any questions or say anything before we go. Feel free. I'll give you a couple seconds.
I've already asked you my question.
Sorry, what was that, Janet?
Good race, guys. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
good race.
I agree.
Yeah,
It
good
was an
race.
excellent race.
So, we'll see you all next week. In, I actually don't know what track's next. Mexico?
I think it's
They switched
Mexico,
it, right?
It's
Yeah.
switched
Yeah, it
this
should
year,
be
so
Mexico.
Yep.
In the
Should be
US.
another exciting one.
Oh,
Good
no.
overtaking track. Big straight.
Find out what song Bigga's gonna play at the start again.
Yeah, if anyone actually listens that early.
I guess nobody gives a shit. I thought people would think that was funny.
Yeah.
All right, good to know. So the music means fuck all.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it too. It's fun. All right, guys. Thanks for popping in for the interview. Great race again. Honestly, it was some really good on-track action. So, as always, it's been a blast. Thanks again to Puff Digital for being here tonight, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. Everybody have a good night. We will see you next week for Mexico.